Listen. Yeah. Yes, God. Oh. Get that out of there. It's the Rant Up, another edited recap of everything I talked about this previous week for RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the World 2 and a little bit more, but still in a nice, tightly compacted, constructed box. It's your boy Matty-Rants. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe to my channel and become a part of my Rant Pack family. If you're looking over here, you can see where you can find some of my links, such as Linktree links to get to other social media spaces and places like Instagram and X. Also for Patreon, I do reactions for $1 a month. You can see over 400, now almost 500 videos. I will be doing a reaction to the Cowboy Carter album, but also for the shows I'm talking about today. And you can get merch like Mattivia at dragqueenmerch.com, also bookable on Cameo. Thanks again for tuning in. Like I said before, the like button is for free. We are going to run through this, kids, but just a reminder that this program is for entertainment purposes only and content is not intended to malign any religion, race, gender, company, individual, or wigs. I'm about 9 hours away from the Cowboy Carter album being released, so I'm on full scale of excitement right now, so please forgive me. I am running through these episodes, but also I am officially 7 days away from my vacation. That is muy necessary because your boy is going a little crazy and the burnout is real. If you did want to drop me a little tippy poo in my jar for my trip coming up, it'd be super appreciated, but also for cat and stuff too, because I do got 2 lovely kids. It's paypal.me/MattyRants, ketchup.SimonRants, and Venmo Matty-Rants. Let's get the show started, shall we? Womp, womp, womp. But we did lose my Iman LePage last week, but that's not what's on QU's mind, or Caillou for the girls that can clock a reference. As I said before, our favorite designer, well, a lot of people's favorite designer on this show was a little bit perturbed. She did not win this challenge last week and felt that it should have been her and Plain Jane. And while she said she didn't say anything and she kept it to herself, the body language was loud and clear. Trust and believe. And she made sure to say it the next day too. Saphira may have handled this gracefully, but a lot of us were asking, you could have went in. It's okay though. I can understand the frustration from Q because it did feel like, based off of the edit and a lot that did happen, that Q and Plain Jane were going to win last week's episode. But once RuPaul said, and now we'll do this individually, doors were open. Mind you, Saphira got so much praise for her outfit as well as her performance in saving herself. Again, she got the win. Y'all can be mad about it. I'm not. RuPaul steps into the workroom, tells them that they're going into a mini challenge of bad makeup proportions or Tammy Faye Baker proportions, where Norvina from Anastasia Beverly Hills steps into the room with a Monet joke in hand to start us off. The pit crew members, God bless them, are there. They got to press their faces in the shirts and give basically Tammy Faye Baker merchandise tees, which Plain Jane does win this mini challenge. And I just am jealous I wasn't there to stick my face in. Anywho, on to the Maxi challenge. So for the Maxi challenge, RuPaul wants them to design a gender inclusive bathroom and wants it to be sort of like an HGTV experience where 2 people with horrible German accents, because they're not German, and this week it wasn't an issue with doing a voice, but you know, I'm just kidding. But RuPaul wants them to design this bathroom, and they'll be graded on the design of the bathroom, but more so about the improv and be able to work on the fly when Michelle and Carson step into their design spaces and they're able to make it an enjoyable experience. Right? The groups are already lined up, as you can see, with Plain Jane and Saphira being in one group, Nymphia Wynn and Donathan Taylor Thomas in the other group, and Matthew Q and Morphine Love Dion in the other. Listen, there's banter between all of the queens. Morphine wasn't wrong for asking Q if she still got a problem. Nymphia was pulling Dawn into the Negaverse, and then Plain Jane was actually intimidated by Saphira, or at least wanted to do a good job and didn't want to be outshined. Working on their bathrooms was a lot of fun. And of course, it was, an interesting experience to see that color. I'm with Q on this one. Ew. I don't like that color. Morphine talks about poop. Now, I thought Saphira had let this situation go, and I'm sort of glad that she didn't, because she did call Q out and say, hey, sis, what's good? What you got? What you want to say, babe? Because you over here saying I didn't deserve this win. So what's up? And while Q does sort of actually, yes, I do still feel this way, it was more about the tone and texture of how that was received. And then again, while Q can say that, well, I didn't say anything to her directly, I was quiet that day, the body language was still sour milk. They do sort of resolve this, but it was kind of played off in the beginning until it was reiterated by Saphira about, it being a problem, and Q did apologize. So, well, I guess we won't be seeing any more sour faces for the rest of the season. I'm not even going to finish it because we gonna see it. Now, I told you this arc for Plain Jane was going to exist, and a lot of you said, no, she's just a BI, finish the rest of it, which a lot of you can feel that way, but not everybody can hold up a sword for the entirety of their life, baby. Sometimes the shield has to come down too. And Plain Jane is feeling a little overwhelmed in this moment in reference to those negative thoughts getting in their head and that defeatist attitude starting to rear its ugly head based off of not feeling too confident in the challenge, or possibly just being overwhelmed with the experience of, maybe they're on episode what? They've been there for a very long time. I'd be tired too. Saphira is truly mother, or honestly has a good therapist, or we can say a well-heeled individual. I mean, all of us are cracked in our own ways, right? But the writing of our negative thoughts and then reading them aloud and tearing up a note is actually a really good device to do. My therapist has done this with me, to be honest with you, and it does feel better getting it off of your chest and just sort of moving forward and just releasing. So I hope Plain receives that for the remainder of the competition here. And also, Saphira, love you, my Libra sister. We cannot get in our own way again like you did with the immunity potion, because God forbid you're put in a situation because mama overthought it. Overthinking Libras. Michelle Visage looks great. George Lopez's daughter is the guest judge, and Carson Kressley is in jeans. God bless America, right? I mean, 16 carriages. Or Ruby is red hot. These orange pants suck. I don't like the orange pants. I think this dress is gorgeous and the hair is right. Makeup is done. Like, I live for this RuPaul. I just don't care for those orange random pants. They were concerning and made me nervous. I just realized halfway through this, I'm doing this my normal live style where the live chat comes up, and I'm supposed to be a lot bigger. So instead of me redoing this, I'm just gonna basically play like, yeah, I totally meant to do it this way the entire time. What? Halfway through, it's a change up? Let's just call it a transition in the album. Let's, in reference to Cowboy Carter, let's just say it's like this. When it comes to the naughty potty, I'm not going to say it's a basic concept. It is a bit basic. We went to hell. That's the experience. So everything's opposite day. So this is that one episode of Rick and Morty where those Hellraiser people got pleasure in the discomfort, or the cringe from Rick over Jerry. Like, no. I mean, yes. I mean, that would have been cool too if there was Hellraiser aspects put into this. But for me, it was a little bit of an SNL skit that I was hoping would end sooner. We're in hell. Oh, like, okay, what? And then Morphine forgetting basically the entirety of whatever they worked on. Mind you, I felt this was supposed to be improv in the first place. So it's like, okay, maybe she's not picking up on the beat that Q is giving or what. But even when Q was explaining stuff, I'm like, oh, okay. That's fine. Like, what? I will say the toilet moment was really ridiculous. And obviously, I don't want Michelle's toilet, but I don't want Carson's either. And how dare you only have one piece of toilet paper up there so high? This probably was the best part. I'm not going to show you what the bulge was giving, but we had questions. A lot of us were staring. I still believe it was caged. I don't care what anybody else says. I feel it was very much of a, locked in moment. Fart Museum. I still hate this color. It looks a lot better now that it's done. However, This is the one I enjoyed the concept of, but not the execution at the end of the day. Like, oh, this is actually a brilliant idea. However, Lord Nymphia, I wanted to be you in that moment. But Nymphia kind of stole the show in not a good way, and Dawn played the background. You would have thought this was Penn and Teller, to be honest. No shade to Dawn. It didn't land the way I wanted it to when it came to what they gave with this fart museum, and Nymphia kind of overpowering the situation gave the idea of teamwork, especially in an improv situation like this or whatever they worked out. It just didn't kind of come together. I felt bad. So it wasn't horrible. It just was like, oh, well, Nymphia's doing most of the talking. I need Dawn to speak. That's not happening. What are we doing here? Now, when it came to the bootlicker speakeasy, this was it. Plain Jane may have been worried, and she's like, well, Mother Saphira, sister, does all the old and stuff, does the old maiden thing, sounding like a Swiftie talking about a Beehive fan. Oh, yes, baby. I have read the comments. I have seen y'all online acting up. How dare you? My mother's been 27 years in this game. She's a legend. The bootlickers speakeasy was funny because it just, all the jokes were landing. The improv was there. Plain Jane and Saphira know how to work with each other when it comes to this. You could tell that Michelle and Carson were enjoying themselves. Like, they're finding the jokes like easy to like throw at Saphira and Jane, and the way that they were bouncing off of each other, the pivots back and forth. It was a fun ride. There were no skips on this album. There were none. It was like, okay, this was an enjoyable experience. I almost could have watched that go on a little bit longer compared to the other two. I was very impressed. Prohibition to syphilis to segregation. And a scat joke on top of it. Bravo, ladies. This was a good ride. Category on the runway is chain reaction. Morphine Love Dion was giving us a bit of gold. I hate them panties. I hate them. Dude. She looks good though. The lips weren't so chunky because, that's giving a whole nother story. But at the same time, Mama's mug is always right. I think this is a good look. I just don't like those panties. Yeah, them draws. Cute. This is the first time I haven't liked something that she has brought. Like, normally if I don't like something she wears, it's like one piece and then everything else is amazing. I don't, what, even the description had nothing to do with the dog, but yet you have what looks like pound puppy ears on this back of a hair magazine, number 3, row 5. Like, what is going on this good Sunday? I'm so confused. Oh, child, no. How? Chop. It's Dawn. Well, okay. It's all right. Saw the same thing before in the previous episode. I still like the silhouette on Dawn. I don't know. I needed more chains. That was the problem. It's not a bad look to me. I'm like, okay, it's chain reaction. I'm not getting chain reaction. I'm getting dressed with some chains on it. Possibly. Because, they're there, but possibly we could have way more chains on this piece. So I think this was last minute if I'm right, but unfortunately it's a no for me too. It's all right. Nymphia Wind, Mama, this is giving. I actually love this blue with the chains and everything that goes with it. I wish it was a bit bigger, but at the same time, I love the subtle effect of what it is. And girl, I'm sorry, it's right. With the blue whip too, puss. Please is please. I love a good pony moment in the shape of shaping. It's right. Plain Jane giving us a little cyborg, sex bomb. Yeah, I've seen a bit of this already from her, but I will say Mama still looks good. It's not like it's ugly. The shape is still there, baby. The Mama's giving a little dunk in the trunk. She's still pretty, but we've seen this. So it's like, okay, it's fine. I'm not going to chop it. If it was ugly, this be a different story. But that it is not. It's just, oh, okay, we've already been down this route, but still looks good. I do like the wig, and I think it's cool that the green also goes into the outfit from the wig into the lining of the look itself. So I thought that was interesting. Saphira ate this alive. Bow wow. Yeah. Like, excuse me. Same silhouette, where? Not here. It's giving, Mama. y'all like this stuff. Don't act like you don't like it today. After the runway with judges' critiques, we find out that the winners are Plain Jane and Saphira, which is amazing. Congratulations. I see they did teams this week. Oh, look, Sourpuss. Morphine and Dawn are put in the bottom, and what felt like possibly an annihilation, Body by Megan Thee Stallion. It took one tongue for me to know that Morphine was about the love in all the Dion's, and one crooked letter, I, crooked letter. I don't know what Dawn was given, but it was giving flamenco foolishness. Mama was over there trying to pose down to the song called Body, and she said, I'm going to throw these little hips that I put in this dress. Was not given. Baby, them panties may be hideous, but Morphine was given. Why are you on the floor, Dion? Why are you on the floor, Dawn? Didn't understand. Annie Potts was out there fighting for her life, okay? It just wasn't happening for me, God. It wasn't. But with one left cheek and a right one later, baby. Our BBL light, Morphine loved Dion, won that lip sync, and we lost Dawn. I'm going to miss Dawn. I loved her on the show. But no wins, but a lot of time on our screens. And honestly, one of the best narrators of the season, a confessional thug, if you will. I'm here for it, Donathan Taylor Thomas. Can't wait to see her drag on. Let's move on to UK versus the World. That's how I want to hold you. I'm always appreciative of UK versus the World using great runway music. I do miss that from the US season of RuPaul's Drag Race. No shade to Cake and Candy. That song is not runway for me. For me. All right? Hey, last week we lost a little chorizo, okay? There was a spicy meat was not in the workroom, and Scarlett in that hot, awful bang was happy to still be in the competition, but she found out that Miss Hannah Donda, if you want some, I call her Hannah Donda, but y'all can call her Hannah Conda, would have sent her home had she won the lip sync against Marina, which honestly, Hannah did a good job, but old Marina is that girl. Scarlett was a tad pressed, but I have to remind our good American sister that, baby girl, towards the beginning of the competition, you made a whole statement like it wasn't a big deal to send people home with good track records. So a lot of folks took it to heart. Trust. They kept talking about it. That was like maybe a third of your season of Do We Trust Miss ScarJo? I love how Hannah threw this lipstick and it was like, oh, let's throw that bad juju away, but she's going to pick it up later. Or she picked it up right after this happened. A PA was like, oh, love, dust that off, honey. She'll be used. I can't. RuPaul steps into the workroom in a suit that I actually really do enjoy to give these babies their first mini challenge of bachelorette proportions. Get into quick drag and dance. Dance, I say, to the beat. No, because not a lot of people did that, but they were dancing though, and then one by one they were eliminated, with Hannah Donda and Marina getting a chance to do this all over again, but the funny queen wins and Hannah Donda takes it, which is followed by then a Maxi challenge where they're told they have to do a roast. Marina is scared. It's the first time in the competition where she's been a little bit nervous, but Hannah winning the mini challenge gets the opportunity to then assign the lineup for this haters roast. Hannah like a boss. Legrand Dom says it's not something that they normally do in France with roast like that. That's not a thing out there. So Mama wants to go in the middle. Marina is scared. She wants to go in the middle. Scarlett felt a little confident. Ooh, can you imagine if we started the entirety of the show with what we had from Miss Scarlett? Even though I'm going to talk about a critique later that sort of made no sense. But yeah, Hannah said, nah, babies, I'm going first. I'm going first. I'm going to lead this off. Legrand Dom, you shall follow after me with Marina third. Scarlett, you're going to take fourth. And Tia Coffee, who asked to close, goes last. Or did she want to go first? It's either or. Either way. That's what was done. Mind you, they went through rehearsals where they had to go over their work, and I don't like to see that if they're going to do the jokes on stage because they're sort of ruined for me, even if they are said better. And it's like, oh, Matt, that's the whole workshop process. I get it. But like, that's how comedy gets ruined for me sometimes, because I heard someone trying to explain the joke, and then all of a sudden I hear the joke, and I'm like, Okay, let me just hear it fresh. But there's this beautiful moment in the workroom where everyone gathers around Powder and they discuss how he got hit by lightning and is still alive. I'm sorry, that is not the movie we're discussing today. My good friend, Miss Hannah Donda, had a moment discussing this not being a toxic environment and was worried and afraid that it was going to be sort of mean or what to, or not, or I guess afraid of what to expect to happen, and is glad that they've developed such a bond and sisterhood. Mind you, this is before she does what she does. I'm kidding, Hannah. But still, that kind of happened even in the moment with Scarlett and her saying, I was going to send you home, but I wanted to get that off my chest. I don't want there to be any bad blood. Like, everybody in this picture looks interesting. Michelle looks like she's back on Strictly Come Dancing. RuPaul, I have to take one of my Rant Packs comments here. It's giving me a creative project with cupcake wrappers. Yeah. There is so much happening. I got to move on to Graham. And Graham looks like he rented that tuxedo this morning. God bless these people. You can catch my live review for more detailed information. When it came to the roast, it was like a sandwich with good bread, with bad meat, and horrible cheese. Because Hannah did the do. Hannah ate this up. It was funny, but like corny funny. And she laughed at her own jokes and it made it like more interesting. Le Grand Dame, it was not good. No, poor thing. Hannah's laughing at her made it funnier, but that still didn't help. Marina, I thought actually was okay. It just, you could tell she was nervous. I found some of the jokes funny, but it definitely wasn't the worst of the night. God, Scarlett, that RuPaul said that you had funny jokes and was surprised no one was laughing. Okay, then if it was funny, then why was no one laughing? Why would you say that? What? But Tia Coffee? Now that was the best of the night, in my opinion. Once that dossier got pulled up, mama, I knew baby girl had it in the bag. Every joke landed. I don't know if it started with the dossier or if it was Michael Face that I just said, oh no, here we go. It was a good ride, Tia. You really did do that. Every joke landed. They were all silly. Some were dad jokes. Some were very like Fozzie Bear included in it. But I really did love how this came through. Go ahead, Tia. They were giving bridal couture on the runway, and I was so here for this category. First is Marina Summers, or to Marina, hey friend, she's a pretty girl. She's a beautiful soul. Let me tell you something. She is giving the Yakan tribe from the Philippines. I even had to look this up because I had someone say something in my live video about that, and I looked at Marina's post where she even mentions Yakan tribe. So I was like, okay, we're saying this correctly here. In reference to this traditional wedding dress that is made from the women of said tribe. And it's like really just, Marina, you look really good. Like all of this is great, honestly, but like full story wise with everything in the makeup, girl, like you're a baddie. Don't ever let nobody play in your face ever. Like you can say that now. Like if anyone ever were to dog you out and go, you're not giving, they're a liar and they're a cheat. They're a liar and a cheat. Hannah, I love this dress on you. You look so beautiful. It feels very classic and just gorgeous. Like, come on now. The dress fits beautifully. It hits the ground perfectly. I love that you have this hair with it. Your makeup was giving. It is done. I live and breathe for this presentation, my mom. Le Grand Dame, stunning. A lot of people are like, this doesn't give like bridal. Girl, this could be a last look in a runway show for me. And a lot of the looks for the last look in the runway are bridal couture. It could be something that's completely avant-garde, or it could be very traditional. This is sickening in the best way possible for the girls who are like sickening. Like, okay, you may be new here. It's good. I love it. That yellow, that soft yellow with this in the headpiece. I don't think it needed to be too big because there's already a lot going on. I think this is just right. I love the design and the architecture on the front of this as well. Is P. I'm too. Listen, oh baby. Tia was in her Renaissance era when she came out with this one. I see Alien Superstar was your favorite song. uh, she is carrying the baby. You're crashing the wedding, or this is one of those weddings, which is perfectly fine. You know, I think this is interesting. The wig is giving. Um, I like it. I think it's interesting. This is the best way I could put it. I like elements of this. I wouldn't have done the baby bit, but hey, that's what Tia wanted to do. A little comedy in this. Yeah. And last but not least is Scarlet Envy giving us Vegas wedding Elvis Presley tease. A lot of people didn't care for this look, but I enjoy it based on the fact that a lot of Scarlet Envy's drag this season has been like sort of an Americana feel of paying homage to certain landmarks or places in people out here in the States. So I kind of live and breathe for that she's kept up this sort of thing going. It's cool. I like it. It's a very interesting look. Tia Coffee and Hannah Donda are the winners of this week's challenge, and everybody else is up for elimination. I knew Scarlett was gone, baby. Once I saw Hannah in the top with Tia, I said, oh, no, 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 no. She's out the door. Hannah, you look really good for this lip sync, and so do you, Tia. And I gotta say, Euphoria is a great song, but Tia, I'm gonna pull out something from my pocket to reference. Everybody that went home did not do it for me. I was Michelle in this moment. But Hannah pulling out those fans, I was not prepared for. You even got behind Tia and added to the lip sync for me. It was just a beautiful presentation and showed that you don't just give comedy one, but you also can tackle lip sync and it not be a predictable affair. It's something that it's going to be a little different every time. I'm here for that. But Hannah Donda is the winner. Anaconda to y'all is the winner of this week's challenge, and she chooses Marie Scarlett because she basically was, hey, let's call it. Mama was gonna get her out. I'm sad for Scarlett. This is the farthest she's made it in a competition for Drag Race, so she should be proud of herself. Got a win in there too after the many times we've seen you not get one where you should at least been in the top in certain episodes for other seasons of but yes, tough crowd, Scarlett, tough crowd, but all my love to you and good luck and congratulations on this season. Finale for UK versus the World is this actually Friday, same day as Cowboy Carter. So excited for that. And we get to find out who is the winner between Hannah Conda, Tia Coffee, Marina Summers, and LeGrand Dom. I'm very excited for that. Another episode of season 16 to Around the Corner. Here it comes. And I'm going to be covering a few other shows on my channel, more scripted series. I'll be announcing those later, on top of the other drag races that are to come. I know Drag Race France is soon to be announced and a few other things I'm excited for. So yeah, thank you again for tuning into this edited review. There will be one more edited review before I hit my vacation. So that Wednesday, you'll be getting a special treat. Be on the lookout for it. Very excited to do that little edited review because I'll be on vacation afterwards. I can finally rest. Oh, and enjoy a vacation and not be on the internet talking my head off. I'll tell you that. Drop a tippy poo in my jar if you feel like it. That'll be in the description if you would like to. And make sure you tune into my live reviews where you get to be a part of the conversation. You know I have a full weekend ahead of me. And I'll see you on the internet for other. And I'll see you on the internet for everything else. Listen.